how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm your host, Cash. Welcome. We're going to do a little weekly recap here. What is weekly recap, you ask? Oh, yes, you did. Let me answer that for you. Weekly recap is me going over my week of operating this semi-truck in the United States. And then I go over my loads I did, the reason I did the loads, and the variable cost. So let's get after it. Very unusual week right here. I've got a lot of explaining to do. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of explaining. So I'm on a dedicated run. Drop and hook dedicated, baby. Woo! Loving that system. I got a call after I got unloaded the other day, and then I'm going to reload on Friday. They said, hey, we cooking up a little something. We're cooking up something. And I said, well, what's it smell like? Is it smelling good? And they said, yeah, it's smelling pretty good. So I said, all right, let me go do that for you. So here's the deal. It's drop and hook. I go to Wisconsin. I drop a trailer. I pick up a preloaded trailer. I take that trailer from Wisconsin to North Dakota, and I do 2 stops in North Dakota, and then I turn around and I go back to Wisconsin. Preferably, we pick up a load out of North Dakota to take back to Minneapolis. That's the plan, okay? That's the goal, okay? Now, I'll talk more about this as we go through the week. Sweet little setup. Let's talk about it. So it picks up in Wisconsin. I drop trailer out there, and I pick up a load that has 2 stops in North Dakota, and it weighs 20,000 pounds, 20 degrees. And I had 80 empty miles and 561 loaded miles on this. $2,500 they're paying for that load. Okay. So I picked that load up on Friday afternoon, and I take it to the house because the first stop is in North Dakota, and it's for Monday morning. So I get to the house Friday afternoon, and I leave out Sunday. Okay. So nice little setup there. It gave me like a nice almost 2 days at the house. I think I was at the house for like 42 hours. Or excuse me, I was off duty for 42 hours. You know, I had like a, little ride to the yard, whatever. Good, like get home in the afternoon, 2 nights at the house. Okay? 2 nights at the house. Whoo! I take it every week. That's straight winning for me. Now, here's what had happened. So I got out there. I made my 2 drops. Love the setup. Both customers have overnight parking. So I just roll up in there whenever I want. I park, do the delivery. The first one, immediately, as soon as I'm done with the first one, I drive straight to the second one, and I do that one same day. And then we're trying to get a load back to like Minneapolis or over into Wisconsin. We find, well, I say we, the guys that booked this found an awesome load. It was picking up in Fargo, and it was going back to Minneapolis, and it was paying like $900, I think, something like that. So for what it was a good load. That's like 250 miles or so. So good rate on it as well for $900 there. I thought 10,000 pounds, 55 degrees. Just good stuff. Just good stuff. I was loving how this was shaping up. I show up, and they said, yeah, we canceled that load this morning. Oh, you did? Did you happen to tell anyone before I showed up here? No, we just canceled it. It's not going to ship. Figured you would figure it out when you got here, So I did get a truck order not used on that one, but yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, that covers my fuel cost back to Wisconsin, but I don't really make no money at that, and I'm not a big fan of driving 561 miles back to Wisconsin without making any money. But that's what I did. So I got back to Wisconsin. I did the drop again. I hooked to it, got my other one coming out. This one, 561 empty miles because we came back all the way empty. 561 loaded miles going back out there. Same thing. Picked up in drop and hook in Wisconsin. This one was 24,000 pounds, and it was 20 degrees as well. Now, these loads, the first stop gets 90% of the freight. Of a 20,000 pound load, 18 came off at the first stop. So the fuel economy on this week was unreal. Like for a weekly average, of course, hell, there's so many lightweight and empty miles in here. Why wouldn't it be good, right? Now, of course, running into North Dakota that one day, I was fighting a wind, but I was averaging like 9.5 miles per gallon for the week. So it was like, man, if I could just iron this out. Like, there's no tolls, no need to scale a trailer. Um, Basically, the only thing I got to put money into is fuel, def, maintenance. That's basically all I got to pay for out of this. So I can make this work if it could. Okay. If we can get that backhaul ironed out, this is going to be gravy. Absolute gravy. Okay. So kind of a bummer having to come back all the way back empty, but it's such a sweetheart deal. Oh, I want it to work so bad. But at the end of the day, I'm out here to make money. And if this isn't as profitable as what I could be doing elsewhere, I'm going to go elsewhere and do something, okay? So let's go over the variable cost. So that was both loads. Oh, the second one pays $2,200. The Friday load pays $2,500 because you got to hold it over the weekend. So that's kind of like pace for the reefer fuel, which really wasn't that bad because it's 20 degrees. But if I'm going to set something down at the yard, more than likely I'm going to start and stop on that. Uh, just what I'm going to do. And actually, I ran the whole week start and stop because it had they wanted it set at 20, but they weren't like when I picked the trailers up off the yard, they were on start and stop. So that gave me the mindset, if they set them to start and stop, I'm going to leave them on start and stop. So just a gravy run, exactly what I want. It goes through Minneapolis. So, if I needed to like do something midweek, I couldn't take a lot of time because I have to get out there for the Thursday deliveries and get those done and then get back for Friday afternoon for my drop and hook. So not a whole lot of like goof off time, but like, if I had a doctor's appointment or if one of the kids needed something, I could stop by. There's just a lot of things I like on this. If I'm going to have a dedicated run, I'm not against having it like in the, me living in the middle of it. So it's like Wisconsin to North Dakota. I live in Minneapolis. It's just great for me. So with no backhauls for the week, ouch, ouch. $4,700 total revenue for the week. Not the end of the world, I say, because if I would have went out east, okay, let's do a little comparison here. If I would have went out east, I'd have used a lot more fuel because probably been pulling heavier loads, maybe give or take $400 or $500 in toll roads every week. There's a lot to that going on, and then so being at home on a weekend, saves me money. I can, get groceries for the week every week. And like, if I do keep doing this, I plan on like planning some stuff out. Like, I'll probably just like either on Sunday, probably Sunday, I'll just do like my whole meals for the week and just make everything microwavable. Just cook tons of meat and just have it all in the fridge ready to go microwaving. So, not a whole lot of revenue on this, but not a whole lot of expenses on this either. Fuel is continuing to go up. That's becoming a problem. When you're getting 9.5 miles per gallon average for the week, fuel's not that big of a deal. Let's face it. $4,700 to the company, my 80%, $3,760, $1,763 all miles, 641 empty miles, and 1122 loaded miles. Now, that'll all change, technically how this breaks down is to go out and back is 2242 on the miles, 2242. So with the it takes about 40 miles out of route to go to the house. So that's 2280 for the week. Total all miles 2280. So, it's like it's still above $2 a mile, even if it's all just deadheading all the way back, it's still above $2 a mile. Now, if I'm going to turn miles for $2 a mile, number one, I'm not crazy about it. Let's be honest. I'm not crazy about $2 a mile. If I could have just hit those one backhaul, one backhaul would have took me up to about 230, 240 a mile. Big difference between 2 and 240. You know what I mean? Like you may not think about it, but that 40 cents a mile, that's like the maintenance fund. You know, that's like maintenance and a little padding in there. So $2 a mile is kind of like baseline. I ain't getting ahead at no $2 a mile. Not with fuel going back up and maintenance costs being through the roof these days. So kind of makes it a little rough. Going to need those backhauls. Cannot continue to come back empty, in my opinion. But that's how it breaks down. I did the 267 all miles. It was 214 my 80%, but you got to think the first load I only deadheaded 80 miles in to get it. If I would have deadheaded the whole 561 in to get it, these numbers would be totally different. Okay, so that first one I was set up in a better position. I was just in a good spot to go get it. 418 a loaded mile, that's as useless as it can be. I did it just because it's habit of how I break things down. But let's go over to variable expenses. Very short and sweet on this camper run. $92 in diesel. Excuse me, $992 in diesel. I wish $92. $992 in diesel. $193 in reefer. Kind of got had on that a little bit. I picked up a trailer that had a half a tank of fuel in it, and I dropped a trailer that had a full tank of fuel in it. So didn't make no difference. When I go back, the full one will be there. And I spent, but I had to pay it forward, I guess. $30 in DEF fluids for the week. 12.15 variable expenses. You bring over that 37.60. And you subtract out that 12.15 variable, that leaves me 25.45. I put 300 of that into the maintenance account, and that leaves me 22.45. 22.45 left to do what I have to do with. Now, it's not ideal, but let me tell you, boy, what just an easy week. I mean, it is so stress-free. The first stop out there has parking in North Dakota. The second stop has parking. I don't think I would ever need that situation, but if I do, it's there. And then it makes it so nice because it's like I can pretty much just show up whenever I want. I can get my 10-hour break in. They put me in the same dock door every time. So it's like I just park, like line it right up with that door and then, go to bed. And then I know what time they open in the morning. I know what time the lumpers get there, all, like just refining it. You know what I mean? Like something like this, you can just, you can have that be the sharpest number 2 pencil ever. I mean, that thing can be razor sharp. Just keep refining it, It's just easy living. Honestly, it's easy trucking. There's no wondering where I'm going to get fuel. I'll look it up once or twice a month, but I already know. I know the spot. I got it figured out. The best spot with IFTA and the best price, the best discount. I already got it all figured out. It's easy. And then, it just makes for simple trucking. Now, there's not a lot of money in it, with the way it is with no backhaul. But we get that backhaul figured out. There's something here. And I want to figure out how to make this the most profitable thing I can, because if I can do a backhaul both times, if the backhaul is just $900 on the backhauls, then I can get that revenue up to $6,500. Okay, I'd still get off on the weekends, and I'd still have like at least a 34 at the house every single weekend. And not to mention, you know, that extra $1,800 pretty much all goes to profit. I mean, a little bit of it will go to fuel, but I'm already running those miles. I mean, fuel economy will go down a little bit if I put on, 50,000 pound load, with something super heavy and into the wind. Of course, Wisconsin to Fargo, the winds, you don't know about the wind out there. It could be good, it could be bad. You just don't know. But let's say, fuel economy goes down to 8 from 9.5 to 8. You know, what is that? An extra $100 a week? I mean, there would be like an extra grand worth of profit in this if I could just figure out those backhauls. So, we could bring that from like 2245 to like 3300 left to do what I got to do with. For me, that's damn good living. To work, drive, 2200 miles a week and, be able to do what I want to do with what, like $1.30, $1.40 a mile. I mean, there's a lot of profit in that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I just want to get it refined out, get it working better. Thanks everybody for watching. I much appreciate you guys tuning in. Smash that like button for me if you made it this far. Remember, people are more important than trucking. Let's take care of each other out there. How do I stay cool when recording videos? Well, I just simply set up my Zero Breeze. Super simple setup, blows cold air right on me. It's kicking ass right now. Love it. If you want to try to get one of these for yourself, go down, click the link below. Use my link when you shop. I get a little piece of the action, and you can enjoy a Zero Breeze like I do.